And welcome back, Crypto Hulk. Oh my God, we got news. This is getting serious all around the world. I don't see this taking 2 years. At the rate we're going, I don't see a year from today. I'm seeing like 6 months. Like when I read off some of this news, it's crazy. The shit that's going on right now. um, I think they're prepping. The government's prepping, getting the troops. I'm gonna watch what I say on this because every time I start wanting to talk some stuff, YT pulls the fucking plug on my show. So I got to be kind of careful, I guess. I don't know what's going on. They're probably like watching the channel close because I kind of like talk shit. You think? 1970 legend. Thank you very much. Bring the heat, Hulk. We are getting close. That's what I'm thinking. And I'm going to show you today, not just what I'm thinking, it's what I'm going to show. But first, before I start that, MKP first, MKP showed up first, and the reward will be a cookie. You'll get that at the Welcome to Being Rich Crypto Hulk party. All right. So you have to wait for that one. Kurt Scott's here. GO. Not a zip. JB Poll. Margaritas in hand. Yeah, XRP Shaman. Member for 10 months. Yeah, still active. 10 months. Time's getting real close now. Absolutely. Like the news that I'm seeing is all these institutions now are just jumping in. The institutions are jumping in, stabbing and punching and kicking each other. They are getting ready to set up. They want to monopolize this whole space. You got somebody comes right out of the blue, Prometheus, whatever the fuck it is. We're gonna probably touch on that one, and you already know, already shown the evidence. Somebody remind me later in about 15 minutes about Prometheus or whatever the hell it's called. Crypto She-Hulk's here. XR Pure Blood. Somebody else gave a donation. There's one. Why am I seeing two? Now that's for some reason. I got 1970s legend twice on the donate list, but there's only one donation, which is very odd. So I don't know what that means. That's kind of strange. But bring the heat, Hulk. We're getting close. You got that right. 1970s legend gave 5 people memberships, advanced hood cleaning systems. You've been around for at least a year. That's the advanced hood cleaning. Dank Digital, brand new. Teo is still here. Hello. Dank Digital. Bitcoin Dan. David Johnson got a membership. Mr. Histic. So those 5 people got memberships. Prometheum. This guy is a snake in the grass. Yeah. We'll discuss what that is later. Let me get into some regular news. Fine tequila. All right, let's go with the first article. You're going to love it. Copy and a paste. Ham, member for 6 months. Welcome back to the show. Please make sure you guys got that article. Okay. Tekken, Texas Monster. Daniel C. Give us lies. Well, here's the biggest lie of them all. This news came out earlier on the 17th, so about 3 days ago. BRICS, and it's in quotes or whatever, Iraq bans. Did you hear that? BANS. Iraq bans the US dollar. Egypt ditches the US dollar. France and Pakistan pay with the Chinese yuan. Are you hearing this? This is the controlled demolition of the United States dollar. It's all planned. Iraq's interior ministry placed a ban on US dollar transactions across the country in a move to strengthen the Iraqi dinar. The country wants to control the fluctuating black market exchange rate that plagued foreign exchange prices for the Chinese yuan and the US dollar. The move will also help boost its native currency as the US dollar will take a step back nationwide. It says the decision to ban the dollar comes at a time when Iraq expressed its interest to join the BRICS alliance. Iraq would accept the soon to be released BRICS currency to settle international trade and sideline the US dollar. In another recent update, Iraq will settle trade with China. Egypt, I'm sorry. In another recent update, hold on, this fucking thing keeps blinking. Egypt will pay the Russian ruble to settle trade with Russia and pay with the Chinese yuan to pay or for business in China. Similarly, it will pay with the Indian rupee while paying for goods and services conducted with India. The US dollar could no longer play a role in cross-border transactions among these nations. We are seeing it happen right before our very eyes. Okay? Every day, this pops up, that pops up, on and on. The news is in on it. The news broadcasting companies are in on it. They have you all distracted talking about guys that are wearing lipstick and shit. Not even important shit. Hey, if a guy wants to wear lipstick and a dress, it's not my fucking problem. But don't shove that stuff down my throat, dumbasses. So you've got these countries now all clicking up, forming together, getting rid of the dollar, while our government's destroying this country. That's what I'm literally seeing. Let me scroll down. Just a few days ago, Pakistan also settled trade for Russian oil imports by paying with the Chinese yuan. Here we go. The US dollar took a back seat in all these international transactions, signaling that BRICS is stronger than expected. China and Russia are convincing several nations to settle trade with the Chinese yuan and not the United States dollar. Russia recently reached out to the Saudi Arabia and urged the oil-rich nation to accept the BRICS currency after its launch. Saudi Arabia is the top oil exporter to the US and Europe, and if they force the West to settle payments with BRIC money, the US dollar and the euro and the pound could be hit. The next BRICS summit will be held in August in South Africa. The bloc of 5 nations will jointly decide on the formation of a new currency at the summit. The fate of the dollar will be put to the test when the currency is launched in the international markets. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have the destruction of the United States dollar right in front of us. I'm broadcasting it to you live right now. We're going to discuss this before we go to the next article, trust and believe. I want you to hear what Crypto Hulk has to say, and I'll read your comments as well. Eric Goldsmith, thanks for that donation. Grateful, as always, Hulksters. Keep the temperature high. Henry Brown, General Hulk, I hope things pop soon. And once it does, we need an emergency video on what to do next. Because it's a lot of mind games being played on everyone. Yes, they are, Henry Brown. Thank you for your comment and donation. Thomas, thanks for your donation. Finally able to catch the Hulk live. It's been a while. Keep the lives coming, bro. XR Peking Duck 432. Thank you very much for that. There's always some kind of mystery with these people that I can never fucking figure out. XR Peking Duck gave somebody a membership, and that's Cossack. Cossack. Way to go, Cossack. All right. Let me check some comments on what's going on with the BRICS nations, and they're starting to buy shit with the BRICS money and all that. Question Hulk, if the world is using XRP, why the F are we waiting on the USA? I'm going to go off. Hulk, how you doing? Not sure if you touched on it. Last night I stumbled across a thing called Project Rosalind, related to Quant, sponsored by the BIS. We've gone over pretty much a lot of all these project this, project that, project whatever. I don't have them all memorized and organized. What I do is look at common themes. And the common themes were that it's always XRP, XLM, XDC, working with Singapore in the Asian area with corridors, Saudi Arabia and India, like in Europe. It's all this. It's all the stuff. HBAR, Quant, shit like that. That's all these projects are. Let me go over what I'm seeing right now. So that article is scary. Okay. Now, if everybody remembers from like a month ago and less, maybe a month and a half, for the past month, Crypto Hulk has been doing deep dives and coming up with all kinds of cool shit for you guys to watch and learn. Okay. One of our biggest players is China. China, right? One of our biggest players is China. I expose this, and no other channel has, because you guys deserve to have the best show with the most deep dive news. And I take pride in that because you guys pay me. So now I'm expected to provide the best information on the internet. Only this channel proved to you that in 2013 there was a Ripple China. In 2013, there's all kinds of Ripple wallets. Yes, China has Ripple wallets. Hundreds and hundreds. This was back then. China is the biggest Ripple customer in the whole entire world. I did not see one Russian wallet. When I did my investigation, you can see it on my show. Go to my page right here, or look up at the top, go to the left where it says videos. Look, just start watching them for the past month. All you need is the past 2 weeks or a month. That's it. Maybe even 1 to 2 weeks at the most. And you guess what you're going to see? I'm going to show you Ripple China 2013. I showed you the Ripple list, the Ripple customer list from 2013. No other channels showed you that. These people have no fucking clue. That's why they're freaking the fuck out about this Prometheus dumb shit. Okay? Oh, the Chinese, and they're gonna get over on us and da 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 da. Who gave them that technology? Ripple. MC Prosperity. Thank you for your honesty and laying it all out for us to learn and understand what's happening in the world with our investments. MC Prosperity. Thank you very much for that. My channel has clearly showed you that the wallets were, certain countries had wallets, Turkey, Israel, and I showed you them and I clicked on the pages. We had Hong Kong, China, Japan, Indonesia was all mixed up in that and stuff. Egypt, Saudi Arabia. We all know about Saudi Arabia stuff, but I didn't have the exact paperwork. to show, or the internet references to show Saudi Arabia, but we can tell from news articles like they go way back to like 2016 or whatever. What we got going, okay, is Ripple got that Asian country all hooked up from day one. Ripple like wasn't even really a company in 2013. Okay, not really like officially with Brad Garland House and all shit. It was back with like the Open Coin people. All right, 2000. Okay, let me back this up. In 2004, this is the earliest that I can trace Ripple back to. So now I'm getting into what I've kind of taught on in the past. It's good to know this. In 2004, Ryan Fugger and libertarian computer programmers around the world were working on a global cryptocurrency to take over the banking system. I showed you in there, it was called the Ripple Project, started in 2004. Their goal at one point was to shut out all the banks. So Ripple's original intention was to get rid of all the banks in the world and have a decentralized ledger system of loaning money, okay, buying and selling and all that. That was in 2004. And they had not invented XRP yet, okay? That didn't come around till, I want to say, Jeb and everybody and the whole gang jumped in on it. What happened from 2004 with Ripple, I think the government was just watching them. This is my opinion. Up around 2010, they got jammed up. And 2011, they were jammed up. Things were not looking good. All right. They had hit a wall. And I think that's where the government kind of came in. A three-letter agency, which you already know. I made the video and I showed the three-letter agency that was from Ripple, with Ripple in 2013, probably 12 or 13. So Project Ripple got jammed up 2010, 11-ish. I really think a three-letter agency jumped in around 10, 11, 12. Somewhere in those years, took over the project. Ryan Fugger just disappeared. Everything was scrubbed that he did. They got rid of him. They got rid of any kind of evidence whatsoever on the early days of Ripple. But I found all the evidence, a lot of it, let's say. Oh, man. Some of it's kind of like anti-government stuff. Definitely anti-bank, but definitely anti-government, one world system kind of a thing, kind of woo. Ripple also had some partners that were really into, how can I say this without, how about the light? They're very big on things that are illuminated, and I'll leave it at that because I still like breathing, all right? So that was like, they had one partner that they were sending ripples to, and it was called Ripples, Ripples. But that was later on. But the early partners and stuff, they didn't have Ripples yet. That kind of came around the Open Coin people. That's where the Ripples term came in. And then so that was like 10, 11, 12. They were using the term like Ripples, maybe 2011, but somewhere around 12, 2012-ish. That's when the XRP hit the scene, 2013. And that got everything to move, okay? So that's your early history of Ripple. And we know that they got all this technology right about 2012-ish, early 13, and that's when the big red Asian country joins and becomes Ripple Cha Duh. Okay. That's what my research has shown. I have the evidence. I've already posted up so you can look at all of it. I'm not going to show it right now. I've already done it. So with all this Prometheum or whatever, Prometheus, I don't know what the fuck it's called. All right. You have to remember, okay, first off, where did China get all this technology from? People that don't know what I know and you know, they're not asking the question, how did China come up with all this stuff? Okay. Someone has to teach them. They got it from Ripple. They got it from the three-letter agency in our government. I'm not afraid of this Prometheum stuff or whatever, because it's all based, we're going to find out, it's all based on XRP technology with some Ethereum. Because remember now, in 2014, the Codius white paper came out. I've gone over that white paper 4 or 5 times on the show already and explained it all out, because guess what? The Ethereum project helped make Codius, which will be the smart oracles that run everything. And now we got artificial intelligence. This is unbelievable. So Ethereum came out with smart contracts. In the beginning, that shit was great. All right. But then Ripple knew about smart contracts, in my opinion, already had them since probably 2013, 14. Well, they definitely had it by 2014, but never really told us until about a year ago or 6 months. Okay. So all the stuff Ripple's already had, what we've been doing. So what are we looking at now? We got Derek Green. Thank you very much for that donation. What we're seeing now is these BRICS nations. Remember, this channel is the only one that showed you how in 2014, maybe even 13, Ripple had its first bank. It was in Germany, Fedora Bank. And then they got Brazil. They opened up a branch in Brazil, like an on-off ramp in Brazil. And they showed the guy's name, whether it was Hector or whatever it was. And he was working with Ripple and had that on-off ramp. So we know XRP started in Brazil. So that's one of the BRICS nations. We know in 2013, China had Ripple, because I showed you the pages. So there's the BRICS. BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. I've already shown you the B for BRICS was all Ripple. The C for China is all Ripple. Okay. We know that Russia, it has something called Master Chain. None of the other channels are teaching this. And if they did, it was after my channel taught it. Okay. And I'm proud of that, because I'm proud I give you guys the first information on what is going on globally right now with Russia. Again, their blockchain is called Master Chain. And in the report, it said that Russia will base all their crypto on Ripple's XRP. You can go back in and watch my video on that. I've only done that about 4 times. Now, how does that have to do with what's going on in the whole world? Is it, look at it. You got all these countries fighting for their crypto. I'm going to tell you what. Here's my belief. And let me tell you real quick. The United States had to get, look, the United States is pulling a fast one on the whole world. Okay. They're not fooling Crypto Hulk, and they're not fooling us. Quit smoking, not a zip. Here's what I truly believe deep down. We invented a whole new system of money. We allowed these early, if you want to look at them, BRICS nations. Notice how they got into this first, so it appears, right? So it appears. Remember, Ripple China, 2013. Brazil, 2013, 14. Like, if you notice, like from day one, Ripple's already there. Like, how's this possible? Because what we did, Here's what I believe. We personally, however it happened, somebody was hooking up with the Chinese and these other ones, slipping them crypto stuff. That's why Bitcoin. Why do you think Bitcoin was so popular in China, right? All the mining and stuff. I didn't even know what's going on. Like, I used to work in a little business, so I'd order stuff from China every couple months, right? And they started wanting me to pay with Bitcoin, and we're talking before I even heard of cryptos, like 2018, something like that. Like, I'm like, what the hell is Bitcoin? And they're saying, oh, it's some whatever payment. I didn't know what the fuck it was, and I bought some and then mailed it to them. I sent it to them for payment and stuff. And it's like, so the Chinese had all these Bitcoin mining stuff when I didn't even know what Bitcoin was. Americans had no clue what Bitcoin was, yet there's massive crypto mining in China. How's that? How do they know about all this stuff? Because I believe the American government started Bitcoin, Ethereum, or they gave it a boost, XRP, XLM, all this shit, the good stuff, all the good stuff the world's going to use. Our government invented it, slipped it out the back door in certain ways to these other countries. They started using it and using it. That's why there's Ripple China, man, from 2013. They had all, like, Alibaba was selling that shit. I'm going to look for the article again for that, but I saw on there, I was doing some clicks on clicks and clicks because some of these old websites still kind of work that I found. They haven't deleted all these websites pages, but I found a couple that actually work somewhat, and I was able to see like Alibaba. So the belief is, people right now believe, oh, Alibaba was never selling. Yes, they were selling it. I saw the fucking page. I might even made a little short video on it. I'm not sure. Our government has done this. There's a reason it appears China, Asia, the Middle East, India, Europe, there's a reason, Brazil, there's a reason why all these companies appear to be passing us. My belief is that our government made all this stuff, farmed it out to these different countries, tried to get them on board to get off cash. At first, they're going to use this BRICS money, maybe. Maybe they have a special money called BRICS money, whatever, but it's going to be built on you know what. And then eventually, everybody's cashless. United States rises up from the behind the scenes and then dominates everything because we all got rid of a cash global economy. That's what, from my studies, it makes me think is happening now. Because I'll just tell you, why the fuck do we have XRP in Brazil in 2013, 14, whatever it was? Same thing with China and Israel. Turkey, for God's sakes. In 2013, I got a Ripple customer list showing Ripple Turkey. I'm just letting you know, okay? So there's something going on. I don't have any. I got 2013 and 14 Ripple customer lists. I don't have any others. That's just those years. What's 14, 15, 16? I'd love to know, but maybe that's in 2015 or 16 is when the Middle East started getting on the Ripple customer list. Maybe Russia got on there later. I don't know. I only have a couple years of that Ripple customer list. Canada's in there and these kinds of things, Australia. So from what I'm seeing, this is all set up globally. And this whole Prometheus bullshit thing, it's all Ripple. XLM, XDC and shit. That's all it is. It's packaged up as something else. And even if it is something amazing, it'll never compete with the 3Xs. So either way, it might be a thing where, you have to use like maybe the Chinese yuan or something. The whole world's not going to want to do that. They want something like the XRP ledger where you could convert it with the DEX, digital exchange. They want that. They don't want. They want their own money. Hey, everybody wants their own money. They don't want to use somebody else's. That's the beauty of the XRP. Is it converts, so you don't have to use. You can use any kind of money you want. And these other crypto platforms will not do that. They want you to use their shit. And guess what? Other countries don't want their shit. All right. So, got 'em, ma. If you got 'em, get more silver. Can't go wrong with physical silver, says Mateo. I bet with the goat. Remember for 8 months, something smells fishy, and it ain't a goat. It's Gary and the SEC. Fucking C. SE fucking C. Yes. See, look. How is it? I guess it's always possible, but there's something not right because people like you and me, we can clearly see corruption or what it appears to be. Because remember, everything's a stage. They're actors and actresses. I don't know who's telling the truth. What I can tell you from working in law enforcement, in corrections, working at the state level, Supreme Court, in the court, making decisions, doing investigation in court cases and stuff, and assisting district attorneys and judges and stuff. That was my job. I wasn't a lawyer. I was more of an assistant to the state and stuff, and helping them put together cases and investigate stuff. From what I can see going on with this crypto, everybody's lying. Oh, there's something going on. I don't know what it is, but I know that it does not make sense. How do we not have any crypto laws after Bitcoin came out in 2008 or 9? 14 years. Have you ever heard of the United States not having laws over something like this for 14 years? There's a reason for that. I already told you, because our government's actively making crypto, and it can't do that. Only private entities can do that. That's why they hired out like maybe somebody like Ripple. And Ripple, we all know they signed those disclosure agreements. What nobody asks is, well, with who? Right? Oh yeah. Everybody knows, David Schwartz and all these people, Brad Garlinghouse. Oh yeah, they signed disclosure agreements, so they can't talk. Well, okay, stop for a minute. Just listen to what you just said. Who do they now? What I'm going to do is what they don't do. Who do they sign agreements with, and why can't they talk? See what I mean? That's where Crypto Hulk comes in. The other channels are like, goes right over, right? Oh yeah, they'll acknowledge. Oh yeah, they're disclaimers, and but no one stops to think. Well, with who? Crypto Hulk comes in, and I find the evidence with who. I show you a 2013 Ripple company webpage with the national, and I'm not going to say security, and I'm not going to say agency. Right there as a partner on the front frickin' page. That's who they're signing their disclosure agreements with. Got it there, buddy? So our government, technically, here I got it all figured out. It's wonderful. You know how the Federal Reserve is? It's private, okay? Ripple, XLM, XTC. These are all private companies making what? Currency. Our government, the only currency our government can make is when the Federal Reserve tells the mint to make money, right? Well, it tells the Treasury, which tells the mint to make money. And I've been inside the San Francisco Mint many times, probably 30 times. I'm not going to tell you what branch of government I was working for, or if it was at the state level, working with the feds. But I've been inside the San Francisco Mint at least 30 times, where they actually make the fucking money, okay? So, no one's asking these questions, but the reason we don't have any crypto laws is because our government is the one making the currency, which we call cryptocurrency, bridge currency, correct? So if there were laws and definitions and stuff, our government couldn't make it. So that's why they're hiring Ripple. And they basically took over the Ripple project that failed from 2004 to about 2010 is when they kind of stalled out with Ryan Fugger and everybody else, and all the libertarians kind of, some of them shuffled away and found other jobs. Some of them stayed on, and where they actually got with the three-letter agency, they figured out they need XRP, and they came up with smart contracts and all kinds of blah, blah, really good shit, cool shit. That's when Jeb came along and stuff and changed it all. Mr. Wonderful, right? So that's with my belief with all this is that our whole government's mixed up in this to get the whole world to do a switch. So we kind of probably said to them, like, we're going to let them come up first, and it looks like they're winning. Got it? Looks like, oh, the BRICS, oh God, the Chinese own 20% of that company. Oh God, we're falling behind. Oh my God, we're all gonna die. Crypto Hulk's like, nope. I showed you all the evidence, haven't I? All the evidence. Everything I've said is based on evidence I've already showed you. Now, I don't have evidence that the government's paying all the Ripple people, but I do have evidence that a three-letter agency was right on the front page of the Ripple team, 2013. I got that on my show. Okay. So why the fuck do you think that is? Oh, it's just coincidence. Just coincidence. Oh, okay. Well, why is NASA on there? Why is the New York Federal Reserve on Ripple's front page in 2013 as our partners? How many startups do you know that have the New York Federal Reserve on their staff? Along with the National, not going to say security agency. I can go on and on. Goldman Sachs from day one, Apple, Square. Yep. It's not really looking like, oh, just got a white screen. So, let's see. Just want to check on there. What's the dickweeds on here tonight? 1970s legend. Okay, so now you look fine on my end. We're going to go to the next article. That's my little speech on. I'm going to show you something right here before we begin. We'll do a copy and a paste. There's my show. Just what I was talking to you about. I'll give you a reference, and it's myself. Go to my show right there. I just showed you. Go to the 10-second mark. The 10-second mark. Okay. I'll give you 10 seconds to do it. All right. 10-second mark. You can clearly see that this is a Ripple page. Let's read off their partners. Apple, Goldman Sachs, Google, Microsoft. My God, really? NASA, the New York Fed. Not saying national security, not going to say agency. Square. I think Twitter was right there from day one. Are you seeing this? All right. Joey Fat Toes is like, that's insane. So that's where all this goes. So when I say that Ripple isn't just a private company, no, it's a temp agency for three-letter agencies. Okay, that's why nobody can say nothing. See, these other YouTubers have no idea. They're like, oh yeah, yeah, they're under non-disclosure, but I'm asking like, why, with who? And guess what? I just showed you who. The other channels, they can claim, oh yeah, it's with this It's with this 3-letter agency or that one. But they don't have any proof like me. All right. So that's what I'm telling you. This channel helps you really see what's going on. All this stuff going on around the world with these big corporations coming in with crypto, like they're all Ripple partners. You notice that? Terry Toole, member for 9 months. He says, wow, 9 months a member. I could have had a baby in that time. Very true. Oh, you'll be having one once you get rich. Yes. So let me look at the first little string of articles. Oh, IMF. Okay. I'm going to give you the main article. And after we go through it, I'm going to have like truth bombs after that. This stuff's starting to get very big. Very, very big. Let me do a copy and a paste. Okay. Let me read off the title of this one. The IMF promotes, let me check real quick here. Let me check my link. Okay, good. So the link is good. Let me read off the link to those people that can't read it. The IMF, which is who? The International Monetary Fund. I want you to see something. I want you to see what's going on. Crypto Hulk is seeing a funnel, like a tornado being formed, okay? Ripple comes in. They've been actively involved in Ripple that was started by Ryan Fugger from around 2011 and up. They basically took over the project and told everybody, okay, thanks for everybody for the past 6 or 7 years. We'll take over from here. And they got rid of all these people. And they all kind of just scattered and scurried all over the world. Now, a 3-letter agency took over, and they've got to save the country. But in doing this, they've got to change the whole world. Okay? So they probably had to meet with the top 10 families of the world. I'm not mentioning names. Please don't start mentioning names. That'll definitely get the show turned off, and then the party will be over. Moderators, make sure nobody mentions famous family names, global names. The IMF, the International Monetary Fund, promotes the what? XC platform. I've never heard of an XC platform, but I'm going to show you what it means. It's XDC. I'm going to show you that's, at least they left us a clue. So I want you to notice something. So for the past like 10, 12 years, Ripple's been out there, our government has been out there spreading the gospel of Ripple to all the highways and byways, get everybody all linked up and hooked up and this and that. And wouldn't you just know it, the IMF comes in right at the end. See how all this is working out? You get Ripple into all these countries. And for like 10 years, they're working hard, grinding it out and getting them all hooked up and getting a central bank after central bank and central bank. And then they get Singapore and these different countries, get them all linked up. Where we even got the BRICS nations all linked up. How about that? It's fucking amazing, right? Now you got all the banks that used to hate it. I used to have a Wells Fargo investment account. And when I asked the guy in 2020, do you know about, because I didn't know about cryptocurrency until 3 years ago. I had no fucking clue what it was. I asked the guy at the bank, do you know what cryptocurrency is? And he's like, no. He's like, you talk about like Bitcoin or something? I'm like, yeah, I've been listening to YouTube and shit, and I'm learning about it, and I'm thinking about investing in it. Do you guys have any here that I can buy? He's like, oh, no, we don't know anything about it here. And at that point, I knew I got to get my fucking money out of this bank. Okay. How are these motherfuckers going to help me with my financial future? They don't even know my financial present. which is I need this fucking crypto shit right now, and you don't even know what it is. Say, hey, I want to withdraw all my money. And he was shocked. They had to go through the reasons why. And I'm just like, just fucking do it. Okay. Don't try to sell me on investing in some other kind of shit. Like, if you don't even know crypto, that's the future. How are you going to help me with my future when you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about? And that's kind of where it started. So, over the past few years, what I've seen is more countries and more countries. And even banks now, banks are joining left and right. They're joining left and right with Ripple. Ripple partner, XDC partner, which is R3. They're partnering with these companies. And then all the central banks. And now all of a sudden, everybody, guess who steps in? The IMF. All of a sudden now, like we already knew this. I already knew this was going global. 3 years ago, I fucking knew. That's why when I bought my crypto in the beginning, I bought it on an overseas exchange, transferred that shit immediately to a hardware wallet, got it off the exchange, Faraday bag, sit on my fucking hands. Haven't bought any crypto for 3.5 years almost, okay? But all of a sudden now, the IMF shows up, and what do? They promote. The IMF is promoting the XC platform. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And they're promoting it for what? Tokenized cross-border payments. This is when you know we're at like 11:30 and the party starts at 12. All right? Let me look at my comment section here real quick. And Joey Fat Toes, a member for a month. Yeah, buddy, we need to have a suddenly rich support community soon, Hulk. All right. Let me continue with this article because this is, now we know that this is fucking massive when the IMF is promoting a crypto platform. Are you hearing me? I'm like, damn. Like, my God. Yesterday, the IMF published a paper building on last year's proposal for XC, a platform to create, listen, oh my God, listen to this, to create a global centralized ledger for cross-border payments. I'm ready to cry. Tears of joy, baby boy. All right. Now let's think. I don't know if you can answer this question, but I want the fans of my channel, before we all shout for joy and sing glory hallelujah, do you know of a crypto platform that deals with cross-border payments on a wholesale level? Yeah, Crypto Hulk, we might be able to come up with one. Oh my God, we're fucking winners. Hey, it's taken a long time, but we will fucking win. So it's a platform to create a global centralized ledger. Oh my God, for cross-border payments. The platform would allow commercial banks. Can you think of a cryptocurrency that has a ledger that's interoperable where everybody could use it for the whole globe? They work with central banks, and then we're talking about wholesale money, and uses distributed ledger technology. Everybody, welcome to being rich. All right. Says here, the IMF's next section says IMF's XC proposal. They're talking about this next paragraph. There is an evolution. Oh dear God. There is an evolution of wholesale CBDC, that's Ripple, which is both a settlement asset. Oh, really? It's a settlement asset. And it's an infrastructure platform. XC platform would not only centralize payments and settlement, but would provide a foreign exchange market, hedging, and compliance. Well, that's where R3's crypto called XDC comes in that you need to buy. And my name's Crypto Hulk. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm the dumbest dumb shit on YouTube when it comes to financial advice. My whole goal is to get you wrecked and destroyed. I just got out of jail for serving a 30-year term for stealing people's money and giving them the worst fucked up advice ever. So if I tell you to buy something and you buy it, you're dumb as shit, and I'm the biggest liar on YouTube. Okay? Once they start talking here about the FX market, everybody, that's the XDC crypto. Now remember, Crypto Hulk has told you that these cryptos work together. XLM, XDC, XRP. It's not just one. Notice how this IMF also now they're trying, like they're like drug pushers trying to push. Oh, we need to do this. Oh, really? Well, when the fuck did you decide this? Because I've been in crypto for 3 fucking years. And all of a sudden now you're talking about blockchain technology. Like you weren't doing that shit 3 years ago. I want to know what the fuck happened. Why is it that the IMF happens to pick a crypto that starts with X and it ends with C? I'll tell you what, there's a crypto called XDC, and you know what it does? Foreign exchange, like we just read about in this paragraph right here. It says a foreign exchange market, hedging, and compliance. And that's all XDC. So I can clearly see XDC does everything they just talked about. All we're doing is taking out the D, the dizzle. We're taking out the dizzle, and that's for shizzle. All right? They compare, the IMF compares it to XC, to Digital Town Square. That's where everybody meets. Oh man, everybody meets, right? Oh, Crypto Hulk, what are you doing? Are you doing gematria and shit? No. The vision is for a trusted ledger. Gee, I wonder if any of them are going to be the X cryptos. Nah, can't be that. Can't be that. It doesn't say it, Crypto Hulk. You're just speculating. No, you're just a fucking dumbass who has no fucking clue. So please shut up and get off the channel. I'm trying to be polite here. I'm not really telling you anything bad. In a nutshell, now I'm under the section says, how would XC work? And I'm going to the second paragraph. In a nutshell, central banks would provide tokenized escrow certificates similar to CBDCs, but limited to the XC platform. So you would go to a bank and you would get a tokenized escrow certificate. The underlying asset would be locked and escrowed in its native ledger and tokenized on this new ledger. You see what we got right now, everybody, is this. When you got that hardware wallet, you own it. Here's the difference. We are so lucky that we have this crypto that's in our pocket. I'm just saying. I don't need a lecture. Well, Crypto Hulk, actually, the crypto's not in the hardware wallet. If I hear of some motherfucker telling me that shit again, please don't try to be smart on my channel unless you truly are. And then you don't have to try because you are. Everybody knows you're a dumb shit when you leave some kind of comment like Crypto Hulk doesn't know that only the keys are stored in the hardware. I'm like, get off my fucking show, Mr. Einstein. Okay, you're like Baby Einstein and shit, you know? Go watch that, or Boss Baby or some shit. Go watch some show like that. I'm going to start scrolling down. They talk about under XC advantages and possible challenges. I'm gonna breeze through that. I know that they mentioned Project Dunbar. I've already gone over all that, and guess what? It's all XDC, Corda, and all that shit. Okay. Down there at the bottom, the last two paragraphs, they talk about Project Dunbar. We've gone over that. Project Enbridge. They're talking about a wholesale CBDC. Um, they're talking about cross border. Now, here's where it gets interesting. They also mention the regulated liability network, and you can click on that on your own. I'm going to click on it right now. It's well, here's an article right here. I'm going to send you this link that I just found. Copy and a paste. This one's very cool. Look at this link, and then I'm going to go back to the article after I just touch on the title. This one I just showed you right now, Citibank. Look, you got three biggest banks in the world: JP Morgan, Citibank, and HSBC. Those three banks run the world. There ain't going to be no crypto unless they're in charge of it, okay? Citibank's a Ripple partner now. Nice. IBM. Citibank appoints an ex-IBM and an R3 executive to lead the digital assets for Treasury trade. Now, this is so enormous right here. So this will lead us into our next article. All right. Citibank's a Ripple partner. And who do they hire? They hire an ex-IBM executive. IBM is a Ripple partner, by the way, just saying. R3, they also hired an R3 executive. Guess what? Ripple and R3 became partners in 2016. Yes, after a couple years, the partnership ended. No, they didn't leave the Ripple technology. R3 sued Ripple to get the XRP when they split. If Ripple wasn't no good, why would R3 fight so hard to get like 1 billion or 2 billion XRPs? R3 is running on XRP to get stuff done. So, Citibank, IBM, and R3 are all Ripple partners. They joined together and formed this regulated liability network, okay, which is massive. So, what do you got? You got a combination of XRP. Okay, you got a combination of Ripple's ledger, which is the XRP ledger, and the R3 ledger put together, working with Citibank to form a global ledger for everybody. Like, this is huge. Like, it's like the Donald says, this is huge. Okay, right there. Gosh, let's see that article. Okay, so they talk about Citibank right here. They just went over what I just showed you, where Citibank came in with the unified ledger. Now, I'm done with that article. So we're going to go into our next articles here. Let me see where I could start. It's all related still. Let me see where I could start with the tie-in article. Regulated with Citibank. Okay. Here's R3's. Hold on. So we're talking about R3 and Corda. I'm trying to find which article I want to start with this. I'll just start with this one. Copy and paste. We're at 1 hour mark. Ooh, man. Blockchain leaders join forces. Okay. Let's look at that article that I just sent you. right here. Blockchain leaders join forces to tackle inefficiencies in the global what? FX market. We were just talking about the FX market. Right down here. Now notice this article's 4 years old. This is already done. We're just finding out about it now. There's a company called Finality. There's massive Ripple partners in that, okay? And there's another one called Fintium, and they're going to build on R3 Corda. You know what crypto R3 Corda uses? XDC. Okay. They're talking about project to focus initially on interbank FX swaps. We were just talking about that. Okay. They're talking about the next paragraph says London and New York talks about built on R3's Corda platform. There's Finality's utility settlement coin. It's called USC, utility settlement coin. I'm just scanning the rest of this article right here. And again, they're talking about FX swaps using Corda's platform. I'm going to let that article go. Finality, down near the bottom, it says, note to the editors about Finality. Finality is a London-based company backed by 14 banks. And I'm telling you what, about 12 of those banks are all Ripple partners. That's Finality. See how they're all working together? Whether you get XRP, XLM, XDC, they all work together. So there's no right answer. Well, which one should I buy? Get them all or just buy one. It don't even matter. There's that article. I'll let you look at that one on your own. We're running out of time. So I have to kind of be careful with spending time on what I got going on here. Next article. Let's look at. Okay, we already got that one. It says FX. That's that same article I'm showing you. It says FX is the world's largest and most liquid market. Right there. It says banks will benefit from instant execution, instant settlement, minimizing settlement risk. So there you have that. I got another web page here. Okay, now here's another R3 page. Read this on your own time if you want. I'm just going to highlight it. It's very, very important. So you can clearly see this is an R3 page. It says open permissioned distributed platform. Open permissioned. So this is not going to just be one where anybody can hop on it. Okay. This is going to be like maybe all the stock markets in the world get on this particular platform. Okay. That they're talking about here with that open settlement coin deal and all that. It's going to be built like on an R3, but it's for a permissioned platform. That's the difference. People like you and me just won't be able to get on that. All right. Let me just kind of scroll down real quick. It says in 20, okay, so we're going down to the section where it says press release. R3 doubles down on interoperability. It talks about there's interoperability between Corda and Ethereum, okay? So Ethereum is mixed up. Notice there's a quote here from the head of the SIX Digital Exchange. That's very heavily Ripple partner involved. So I just wanted to show you that. Notice we mentioned Hyperledger. Where was that at? Somewhere in here. Yeah, it's right there. We welcome the launch of the Hyperledger Lab Harmonia. Okay. Remember, Hyperledger is IBM. We're going to get into that in a minute. I'm just going to scroll down here real quick to the bottom of the page, just kind of scanning everything. But we're going to keep in our heads Hyperledger. We're not going to forget that. Insights. Okay, next thing I wanted to show you, and if you're a veteran, you've already seen this. We're talking about Hyperledger and R3, right? So we just got done looking at R3's page, which uses XDC crypto. It also has a platform that other cryptos can use, like Ethereum and other ones. And it also talks about they're working with Hyperledger. So look what we've got here. Stellar IBM partnership. Wow. Now, you see where we got the XLM coming into this? I told you they're all working together, all right? Scroll down, you'll see summary, overview, and then guess what? Private networks via Hyperledger. It says in this paragraph right here, the Stellar Foundation joined the Hyperledger Foundation. So now I have proof to show you that on the R3, they have what's XDC, but it's a platform which interacts with all the other ones. So on that R3 page, I showed you Hyperledger. Now I'm showing you Stellar, which is XLM, is a member of Hyperledger, which is also a member of R3. So there you have that. Pretty nifty. That's some pretty nifty news, Crypto Hulk. Oh, and just to show you the Ripple tie-in again and again, look what we got here. But wait, there's more. And looky here what Crypto Hulk has another Christmas present. IBM launches a stable coin. This is only from 4 years ago. IBM launches a stable coin backed by what? FDIC insured banks. Oh, really, Crypto Hulk? IBM partnered with Stellar, a blockchain that shares technology with Ripple. Oh my God, there's the tie-in right there. You see how they're all tied in? Crypto Hulk makes it so easy to understand. I should call it Crypto for Dummies, because I can teach just about anybody. But I'm not calling you a dummy. But so there's all these connections. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. I think I'm going to read some comments, and IBM is a pain in the ass customer. Yalcine has been a member for 10 months. What I knew before coming here to what I know now is like Scooby Steve Deep Diver. One and only channel. This is the one and only channel on the internet that is teaching and telling us the truth. Thank you, Hulk. Says the member Oscar Vasallo. The one and only channel. Thanks, Bob. Rodney. Thanks, Crypto Hulk, for the life-changing information for a 19-year-old, says Rodney. You're welcome, Rodney. Just picked up a couple more of the brother and sister. XDC. I don't think XDC is on Ledger. You got to get a different wallet for that. Terry's like telling us the lies. Absolutely. Great show today, Hulk. As always, says Andy. 4:30 a.m. here. Oh, damn. You're going to have a rough day tomorrow, man. Not going to be good. XDC is not on the Ledger. Veronica 33 says, thanks, Hulk. Righteous info tonight. Chuck X got a rewatch. Yeah, a lot of great information on the show. Again, so let me encapsulate everything I just said very briefly. So you can kind of, all this new stuff. All right. The first half of the show, the majority of the show, we went over the origins of XRP Ripple. We found out that it was from a guy named Ryan Fugger. He had a group of friends, let's just call him that. They worked on a Ripple project, didn't work. Around 2010-11, the government secretly snuck in, took over the project with our friend Jed, and made Ripple what we know as it today. The early days of Ripple, right out of from the beginning, they started linking up the BRICS nations. So it's not a surprise now that the BRICS nations are trying to form their own currency. They only had a head start for about the past 10 years, okay? So here we are, 10 years later, we're now watching on the news. You got China coming out with the Prometheum thing or something. Everybody's all freaking the fuck out and stuff. And it looks like our government, like Jay Clayton or was cocksucker Gary Gensler, is doing all kinds of looking the other way and all this illegal shit's going on. And we're all getting frustrated and mad. The government's trying to make it appear that crypto's bad, so we stay away from it. That's when I run towards something. When my government says don't do that, then I'm like, why? I need to run closer. And that's what I did. I got all my crypto 3.5 years ago. So we're looking around now, and now the big banks are coming all in. They were in there from the beginning. What they did is manipulated the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So they're all disguised whales. No secret about that. Other channels like, gee, I'd sure like to find out who the disguised whales are. We already know who the fuck they are. They're all the rich people at the top, like Citadel, Grayscale, and all these companies that secretly use shell companies to buy the crypto so they wouldn't be caught with their regular accounts. So that's how they did. They opened up bank accounts in foreign countries. These are just my opinions, of course. Everything on the show is a lie, and don't believe a word I say on the show. Trying to avoid a slander case here, buddy. So all these banks are fucking criminals buying the shit on the down low in the beginning, but they also, what they do is they double dip. They'll buy an equal amount of this and an equal amount of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then an equal amount of Ripple. So one of the three is going to hit, right? That's how they do this stuff. So once they've rode the wave on the Bitcoin, then they hop on the Ethereum, ride that wave out, and that wave's going down. They catch the XRP and ride that one off into the sunset, okay? That's what's going on now, is now we've got the International Monetary Fund coming in. You know we're getting close to the end when the IMF is talking to us about a centralized ledger. Now you know, like, damn, the IMF? And this is where it goes back to my prediction from 3.5 years ago that Ripple is the government. The XRP, in my opinion, already is under control of the Treasury. And so is that little company, PolySign. Because you have to have a, not going to say Department of, not going to say Defense clearance to work for Poly, not going to say sign, okay? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. The Treasury already owns these already. What they're going to do when we have, which I predicted, have a national emergency. 3.5 years ago, I predicted all this shit. So now the scary movie's coming true. Everything just like I said. When we have this national fake disaster shit's going to happen, that's when the government's going to have to go into emergency mode, shut down every exchange, and then, wow, looks like the government's only going to allow certain banks that they can trust to sell the crypto. Well, how convenient is that? And guess what? The banks are already picked. These are the ones that are considered, what do they call them? Systemically important banks. You ever heard that term? Systemically important. That means they've already got the golden, let's say, handshake. I was going to use some other finger gestures. They've already got the deal mixed in. They're going to get paid no matter what now. So that's how the government's going to determine who gets an exchange, is what banks are already right now systemically important. Oh shit, Crypto Hulk. That sounds exactly like how it would go down. Because I mean, seriously, how's the government going to pick who gets to do what and this and that? Systemically important banks. And guess what? They're already the same players that are running shit right now. So they kick out everybody who's brand new, exchanges and stuff, shut all that stuff down. It's all gone bye bye. And if that exchange isn't systemically important, which all these are not, BlackRock's has that one exchange. That exchange will be systemically important because obviously BlackRock's helping the United States survive. So Coinbase will be protected. It'll be systemically important. What's going to happen is other exchanges will go bankrupt, and that's where these systemically important banks will come in, buy those exchanges, and then all of a sudden now that exchange, instead of being crypto bad, 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 will be crypto good, good, good. And I've been saying that for 3.5 years. That's how all this shit goes down. So right now, when you're looking around the world, they're getting all set up for the fake disaster. Well, let's just say this. They're all getting set up for the disaster that's coming upon us that will usher in the new era of us being rich. Okay? And that's the summary. And it's time for a Henny shot. You got that the fuck right. But I'm doing that offline. I'm done with this show. It's an hour and 16 minutes. And I've already done 2 taste tests this week. I already told you what's the good cognacs and shit. I already gave you all that. So go out and buy that and enjoy it. Facts. Thanks, Hulk. Black Swan. Time to dance like it's 1999. Thank you, brother. This is Rodney. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. All right. I got to get some cognac in my system before I have a fucking conniption fit. And then as I'm looking at the cognac, drinking it, I got to find some news for tomorrow morning. Hopefully I can pull together a good program for tomorrow. But other than that, that's your nightly crypto news report. I'll hopefully see you in the morning.